back, you guys, to another episode of Indie Wine Chats. We took a break last week from Wedding Month and had our Mother's Day episode, which we hope you all loved. We're back at it today talking about weddings. So we're going to be talking about skincare, hair, makeup, anything beauty that you need for the big day. So we have our other guest this week. This is my youngest sister, Lauren. She's a licensed esthetician, so she's going to give us some good skincare tips, facial tips on how to get your skin ready for the big day. So she is drinking our some sparkling water today because she's not 21. So she's kind of indie sparkling water chats.
Sparkling water chats. I love it. That's great.
Okay, so let's kind of talk about getting your skin ready before the big day. So what would be some of your tips as far as how many months out should they start? What kind of little tips do you have for them to kind of take care of their skin and make sure that they're glowing for their big day?
Yeah, so I'd say start about 6 months out. Even if you want to start it even further, that'd be even better.
Oh, we always welcome that.
Yes, absolutely. Just consistency and having a really good routine definitely makes a difference. And you can, definitely see better results if you start longer. I'd say tips, definitely exfoliate.
Yes.
Exfoliate and sunscreen.
Praise.
Please, everyone wear
sunscreen.
Yes.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
All the sunscreen.
Everyone's like, oh, but I want to be tan. And I'm like, if you want to be tan, like, get a fake tan.
Yes.
Yeah,
get
go
a
get a spray tan.
Yes.
Spray tan, use self-tanner, do whatever.
100%.
Like, sunscreen's
Protect
my
that
best friend.
face. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't go outside without sunscreen.
Right.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So what about getting facials done? So do you think a bride should get at least 2 or 3 before the big day? What is your normal recommendation to for them to see the best results, I guess?
2 or 3, I'd say, would be definitely the minimum. I'd
Okay.
say probably start 6 months out and get one every month if you can. Again, you're just going to see better results doing it more often. Consistency, again, is really big in skincare.
Okay. If somebody's never had a facial before, I think a lot of people are nervous because they think, like, my skin's going to react if I go get a facial right before the big day. So I think it's important, obviously, to go to someone who knows if you're a licensed esthetician, but you kind of walk through that process with people, like if you have any sensitivities,
Right.
what to expect from a facial, because I think that's one thing I always hear is, oh, I'm going to break out if I go get a facial right before.
Right. Whoever you're going to, even if it's not me, just whoever you're going to, they definitely should talk to you about your skin type, what are your skin sensitivities. They'll probably make you fill out some sort of form, and you definitely have to write them down.
Right. So that's probably another reason people should start sooner. Because in case you want to make sure you're several months out.
Because if you do have like some breakouts, then it could definitely help clear them up. But always talking to your esthetician about your concerns, your sensitivities, your allergies.
Being very upfront when you go to have a consultation.
What's the point of a facial? Like, talk to me about it, because I don't I've had probably 2 in my whole life, and I just don't. I guess, if I'm going to go spend money once a month on something, I want to understand the value. So tell me about that.
Right. So you have your normal skincare routine at home.
Right.
And that is great because you're doing it daily. Having a facial is just having a boost.
Okay.
Because it's definitely going to enhance the results of your skincare. That's what I'm looking for. It's going to definitely boost the results of your skincare that you're using at home.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And does a facial exfoliate? Is that
it kind of depends on which one you're doing.
Okay.
If you're really, really sensitive, then you might not need some physical, a scrub exfoliation. There's also a chemical peel, which is exfoliation.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on which facial and who you're going to and what your certain needs and concerns are.
Okay.
So a facial, basically, you're getting a more intense level than you can do it at home.
Yes.
Because as a licensed esthetician, they have more access. They have access to products that we can't use at home.
Yes.
So the things we're using at home are on a lower level because they're safer for something we could use on the daily. An esthetician has access to something like a chemical peel, which we can't do at home, or a microdermabrasion, or dermaplane, or whatever that may look like.
Okay.
So they're basically taking what you're doing and putting it on steroids. That's kind of what I like to look at it.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. So when it comes to bridal skincare, we're making sure that we have a routine that we're doing every day.
Yes.
We are making sure to maybe start facials if that's something that we want to look into about 6 months in advance. And we're always wearing sunscreen.
Absolutely.
Those are our 3 big things.
For sure.
Okay, and we all know that great makeup, especially on your wedding day, starts with a great skincare routine.
I cannot preach that enough. It makes such a big difference.
It does.
I have seen so many brides. I've done so much makeup on so many brides, and you can tell when people have taken care of their skin and when people have not worn sunscreen. And it does make a big difference. As a makeup artist, there's only so much I can do with makeup.
Right.
So I can be the best in the entire world, but if you're not taking care of your skin, it's only going to go on so well.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind. And that's not in a mean way. It's
Right.
just a makeup is not something that's going to take rid of wrinkles or take care of a lot of sun damage, dryness, flakiness.
Oh, right. Okay.
You can cover things with makeup and enhance your features with makeup, but it's not like, I've got wrinkles on my forehead, so what are we going to do? Well, the day of, there's not a lot I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's something to keep in mind.
So we've talked skincare. Let's chat a little bit about makeup on the wedding day and like maybe what that process looks like. So the one thing that somebody told me when I was getting married is to remember that you want to look like yourself. You don't want to have a face full of makeup that totally is not something you would ever do, and you walk down the aisle and your husband, fiance, whatever, partner in life is like, I don't know who I'm marrying today, because you don't look like you.
Exactly.
And so that's something I think that is really important to keep in mind when you're thinking about your makeup routine for your wedding day.
So, again, anytime I meet with a bride, we always have a consultation at first. I always encourage trial runs because that is when you're going to kind of work through the kinks.
Right.
Because when you come to me as a makeup artist, typically I'm seeing you with no makeup on.
Right.
And you're coming at me with a fresh face. So I'm not sure what your typical makeup routine is. So doing a trial run, we'll talk about what do you want, what do you not like, and that's your time to like speak. Because on the day of, you want it to be seamless, perfect. You don't want to have to worry about, like, I want to change this color or whatever. So trial runs are highly encouraged. Most makeup artists will include them in their package. I just have a set package that I offer. A trial run is included in that because it is really important.
Right.
So that's the time to be like, I'm kind of natural. I don't love a ton of makeup. So then I can kind of tailor, okay, you don't want to look like a Kardashian on your day.
Yeah.
And then I do, but then you do have
people like,
then
I
you
wish
do have
I
brides.
looked like Kim Kardashian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Everybody has their own style.
Sure.
So that is something to definitely keep in mind. However, one little thing I will say, you still want to look like yourself on the day of, absolutely. But keep in mind that your makeup's not going to look like what you normally do on the day of.
Right,
Because you
of
have to
photos.
remember photos. You're going to be up in front of everybody further away. So you can still have different levels. You don't have to be completely not yourself. But just keep in mind you are going to look a little more enhanced than what you typically would on a daily basis. Because you have to keep in mind, when you get your photos back, you don't want to be like, I look exactly like this every day.
Right.
And you don't want to look like you're washed out or don't have any dimension to your face. So that's something to keep in mind too when we do a lot of brides and bridesmaids. So
that's the other question I was going to kind of bring up is how important do you feel it is for brides to really, because like when I was getting married, I was like, everyone's going to have their makeup done professionally because I don't want to be the one to do it. And everybody has a different way to do makeup. And you, as a bride, it was important to me to have all of my photos look the same and to have all of my bridesmaids kind of like coordinated. And also, it's a special day for them. Like they're standing up with you. So that was like my way to say thank you and like to really treat them or whatever. So I guess how important do you feel like it is for the bridesmaids to have their makeup done professionally that day?
Right. So I think it makes a big difference, only because most people, even if they're good at their makeup, most people are used to doing their everyday makeup.
Yeah.
So you are going to have a few bridal parties where you have makeup artists in the party and they want to do their own, which I think is great. But if you are just like doing your makeup every day, I think it's really important. It makes such a big difference. And again, it's not that someone's going to look better than the other person. It's just you have to think about in photos, you're like, as you're going through, you can be like, oh, I can see that they have lips, they have cheekbones, and then if you're kind of doing your everyday, it's kind of like, you almost lose your face a little bit, because you're not getting your photos taken every day of your life. Right. So I do think it's important. I don't think it's something you can't force somebody to do it. I just highly encourage it because I do think it makes a really big difference. And it's a fun way for you to relax and just have fun on the day of it. Everybody's getting their makeup done. Everybody's getting their hair done. So it's just a time, I think, to kind of relax and not have to worry about doing it yourself. Right.
Now, I know, Lauren, you guys also offer services at Merle for brides, bridesmaids, etc. Tell us, I guess, maybe a little bit about that and what that looks like.
Yeah, so you can make an appointment, or it's very suggested that you make an appointment. Just we have enough time for you, but we sit you down. For brides, we would do a more in-depth, like what Erica was saying, how she does her brides. You definitely do more of an in-depth consultation with them. Bridesmaids, the basic questions that I ask them is, do you wear makeup on a daily? If they say yes, no, a little bit, whatever, I'm like, do you fill in your brows? Because that brows is a really big thing. That's
brows
the biggest difference that you're going to see. If they don't fill in their brows at all, I still fill them in a little bit just to give them a little bit of color, a little bit of structure. Just kind of basic questions that I, like, as I'm doing their makeup, like, what kind of lip colors do you like? Because I'm really specific about my lip colors. I assume everybody else is. Maybe not, but,
So actually my first time to go to Merle was for my wedding lip color, which I'm wearing today. I was like, oh, this will be appropriate. Yes, Mystic Pink. It's the same one for my wedding. I cannot get rid of this one yet because I'm like hanging on to it. Right. But yeah, it's a great color. So lip color I feel like is so, so important because it's like, I feel like it's something that really pops no matter who it is. It just pops, and like when you're wearing a white dress or ivory or whatever, your lip color is generally like the sparkle of, or that like hint of color, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So it's important, I guess, to pick a color that coordinates and isn't going to be like,
you don't want it to clash with like what your bridesmaids. So if your bridesmaids are wearing like anything pink, you like don't do a bright red. You know, it's just those because those pictures are going to be together. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. Or if you're like in the fall and your brides or your bridesmaids are wearing a burgundy, then don't do something like super coral or a hot pink. Or you kind of, I mean, you're still the bride, so you can kind of do what you want, but you at least want it to be cohesive,
right?
A little bit.
Matchy.
No, you don't want it. You want it to coordinate, not to be matchy. Yes. Exactly. Okay. That's always something to keep in mind.
That totally makes sense.
So with your bridesmaids, like I ask what color they're wearing only because I want to know what tone. So if they're wearing warm colors, I'm not going to do a bunch of cool colors in their makeup, and vice versa. So just because you're wearing a pink dress doesn't mean I'm going to put that exact same pink lip on you.
Okay.
It's just I want to know the vibe, so that way I can say like, yes, or what color people's jewelry is. That's another thing we ask, because if you're doing a lot of gold jewelry, I'm not going to do anything really silvery on your eyes because it's going to look weird. So
that makes sense.
Those kind of questions we'll ask just to kind of feel out kind of what your look is and what your vibe is, so that way everything goes together. I do want to say a little bit about booking a makeup artist or hairstylist. Yes. So it's just like anything. As soon as you find out that you're engaged and you have somebody that you want to book, do it right away. Yeah. Because especially, I mean, if you're getting married in Indiana and it's June or October, September, and May, June, and then September, those months fill up so quickly.
Yeah, because you were just telling me you have a wedding every weekend of June.
Yes, literally in June, every single Saturday, one Friday, one Sunday. So it's crazy. Yeah. And they've been booked for several months out. Right. I mean, I've had brides book almost 2 years in advance.
Oh, wow.
So, which you can do if you're, So if you have somebody that you're wanting, just keep in mind that you're going to want to get a hold of them as quick as possible. Another thing to keep in mind if you're doing someone like me, who I'm a freelance kind of small business, I will not book a wedding for myself every weekend of every single month.
Right.
So
you have a family
because
and a life.
I love it, but I also there's some months that I just know it's going to be busy and I'll do it.
Sure.
So that's something to keep in mind too. If you book somebody and they say, sorry, I'm booked, and then if you follow them on Instagram and you see, oh, well, the day of my wedding, they're out doing this. Well, it's probably because that was their only weekend that they had free. So try to keep some of that in mind too. I think sometimes it's frustrating. But there's a lot of great makap artists out there.
There are, yeah.
Start with the one that you have. And a lot of times, like if I can't do it, I will recommend people who I trust.
Right.
And most other people will do that too. If they will recommend another person for you. One more thing to keep in mind about that is, this is kind of a touchy subject, but
do it.
Lauren and I are both licensed, so we went to school. We paid money to get a license. We keep up with it, and that costs money. And there are a lot of great people out there who do makeup, and they do a beautiful job. So if that's important to you to have somebody that's licensed, it's technically required. However, there are a lot of great people who do makeup. Just keep that in mind. A lot of times people will say, well, why are you more expensive than so-and-so? And it's, well, because I have 10 years of experience and I have a degree, like I have a license for that, and that costs money. So just kind of keep some of that in mind. You don't have to have somebody who's licensed, because there are people out there who are, I think it's kind of silly, honestly, some of the laws that Indiana has, but that's just how it is. It is what it is.
Well, but also you've invested in makeup to use on other people's faces. It's not like you're using your own makeup.
Oh my gosh,
and
we have kits that cost.
Right, it's a huge investment, right? So like I had my makeup done once by somebody who brought her own brushes, her own, like it was her makeup that she uses every day, and I was like,
that weren't clean.
Yeah, no.
That's a big no.
That's something you've got to do your research when you're looking for somebody like that, because even just that, like if the brushes are dirty or whatever, that can cause eye infections, that can cause skin irritation, all of the gross things.
And not that you couldn't learn that, but those are things you learn in school. How to clean your brushes, what kind of sanitation
especially when you're doing back to back
to
back, because you do have to sanitize in between.
Yeah. So Lauren and I, now granted, if we have a huge makeup or a bridal party of like 12 people, okay, I don't have 600 brushes. Well, I have a ton. But we travel with brush cleaner, with alcohol, with everything, so that in between, if we like run out of brushes, we won't take one that we've used on somebody else and just do it on, like, we have cleaning ways to clean them in between people if you don't have enough. Mascara wands, like, we have mascara wands that we use on one person. We're not just using our one tube of mascara and using the same wand on everybody. You have specific, so there's little things like that that are important that you want to keep in mind. So don't try to save a buck and just have somebody who doesn't know all of those things. So if that's something that's important in your budget, then great. So anyway.
Very cool. Yay. Well, do you want to chat a little bit about hair?
Yeah, we can talk about hair really quick. So hair, I feel like, is a little less in depth. One thing to keep in mind on the day of: don't come with clean hair, or I will be very angry. You want dirty hair only because it holds curl better. So typically I say 24 to 48 hours have not washed your hair before the day of. So don't wash your hair the night before, don't wash your hair the morning of.
So like wash it on the day of your rehearsal dinner.
In the morning if you want, or even the night before that, and I'm totally fine with.
Okay, and then come and
and then we'll take care of it. People are like, oh, my hair's, it's fine.
Yeah,
we will manage it. We will tame it.
We accept it.
We accept the dirty hair. Okay? I only wash my hair twice a week, so I would like to say for brides. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind too. Again, trial runs are important for hair as well. That way you're not messing with it on the day of. And another thing is brides, like, speak up. So if you're doing a trial run and you're not loving, like, they shouldn't be offended. I'm not offended. Like, okay, cool. Well, this is something we talked about. But if you want it, like, oh, instead of on the back of my head, I want it to the side, or I want more volume, or speak then, because you don't want to be on the day of your wedding upset because it's not going the way you wanted because you didn't speak up in your trial. So don't be afraid. You don't have to be mean, but you can just say, hey, like, I think I'd rather have this or this. I welcome that, because I would much rather you tell me that in your trial than, you know? So,
yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would say if you're paying for the service that they're giving you, and if you don't like it, then
you got to say
it. Much sense.
Yeah.
And I would say if you're wanting to change your hair, like the wedding date, you're going to have to, like, take down your hair and redo it, and that just takes up so much time, and you might be stressed and, like, for time, and it's just not a good situation.
Yeah. And also the other thing with that is I would say take whatever hair piece that you're going to wear to your trial.
Have it, bring it. Absolutely.
If you have it, bring it. That way you can see, like, what it's all going to look like together. And I actually did my hair and makeup trial on the same day.
Oh, yeah.
So that I could see it all together.
And
instead of, like, doing my hair and then, like, going and doing my makeup or whatever. So.
And that's encouraged too. And because I do hair and makeup, it's nice because I can do them both. But if you can coordinate it with, if you have somebody doing your hair and somebody else doing your makeup, do try to coordinate on the same day. It does make a big difference to see the whole look all together. Because if I just have my hair done and no face, I hate my hair regardless of what it looks like. And vice versa. You know, it's like,
it's so true.
So get the whole look together if you can. If you've got a veil, bring it. You've got a hair piece, bring it.
Awesome.
So,
all right. Well, so skincare, makeup, hair, we covered it all in this episode. I think it was really great and valuable, and hopefully you guys found it that way as well. Next week, we are going to be chatting about bridal showers and planning, and
bachelorette parties, all that jazz. All the fun party parts.
Yes. So cheers, and thanks for being here, Lauren.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cheers.
Thank you.